Hello, Plattsburgh. Welcome back to Cardinal Sports Live. We're back on our regular time. I'm Derek Palaki.
And I'm calling Brett.
She's back.
I'm back.
And I tell you, we're drawing up some old school sports with the pastel and the crayon here on Cardinal Sports Live. Like I said, Cardinal Sports Live back in action. Derek Palaki.
And calling Brett.
I'm so excited to have you back.
Feels good to say that
again. One more
again.
time, and a little surprise. I'm eager, like I always used to say. And this time, hold on, I actually brought the record.
Oh my God, this is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. For those of you who don't know, last semester, when the volleyball team would play, every single time, because Derek's so original, he would say, "Oh, sound like a broken record. Well, you brought one.
Here,
you're thinking
yours
outside
now.
the box for
Here,
once.
you
For
can have
once.
it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
goodness.
tried.
No, but it feels great to be back. The show has been doing a great job. We hope Spencer feels better because he's sick right
Yep,
now, which
he's
is
a
why
little
I'm
under the weather.
filling in. But, you know, it's going to be a good show tonight.
It's going to be a great show tonight.
It
We got
is.
lacrosse to talk about.
Yep.
They did some great stuff. Baseball, softball, all that. A lot of good stuff going on.
A lot of good stuff. These teams are doing, they're doing pretty well so far, but let's get right into it with lacrosse. They are doing really good compared to the other spring sports. So the Plattsburgh lacrosse team turned the game around in the final minutes to take the victory against Clarkson 9-7. Plattsburgh was dominating on both ends of the spectrum with Tom Dugan's hat trick, as well as senior goalie Andrew Hawk's 10 saves. Brendan Dam also contributed to the win with an unassisted goal in the third, his second of the game. However, Clarkson did outshoot the Cards 35-30, but it wasn't enough. The Cards improving on the season, 10-5 overall.
Now, that Clarkson game was in the past week, and we've got a great highlight to show you that happened just yesterday. They took on Oneonta. Let's get right into the action on that one. Cardinals looking to get their second straight victory after dropping 3 of their previous 4. Plattsburgh comes in 10-5, Oneonta 4-9. Not even 2 minutes into the game, it's Robbie Ashlaw on the long shot. Goalie nowhere to be found. Check this one out. Cardinals taking early 1-0 lead. Not even a minute later, it's Cole Anderson to Jake Felter for the up-close goal there. Get that broken record out. Minute later, Robbie Ashlaw bounced pass to Matt Renko. They lasers that one in 3-0. Later in the first, it's Anthony Buffandi to Brendan Dam, who sets himself in, fires it in, 4-0 now. Check out Ashlaw here. Skirts 3 defenders, takes it in himself, 5-0 now, and the Cardinals are just getting started. Let's go second period now. 5-0 as you can see. You thought Ashlaw was good? Watch this. From behind the net, dekes a man and buries it, 8-0 now. And let's take one more look in slow-mo. Beautiful job there by Ashlaw, who gets it to go. Later in the second now, it's 9-1. Come on, pick up the pace, speed, let's go. Good. Dam has some behind-the-net magic of his own, eerily similar to earlier. 10-1 now. And like Jay Giles said, freeze frame! Stolen by Tim Lawrence, off the goalie, spins around and gets that one to go. It's 12-1 now. Big milestone for him as well, as he scored his 100th goal of his career during the game. Cardinals scored 10 more and won it 22-4.
They always do phenomenal every season, and it was announced that they clinched the third seed in the Seniac, so this isn't surprising that they're doing phenomenal yet again.
It's not surprising. I mean, like we said, they've got one more game against the College at Brockport.
Yep.
That's at home, and they beat Brockport last year for their first ever win.
They beat them in the first round of the Suniacs, but they beat them 15-7 last season. So hopefully this isn't going to be too tough a game, knock on wood right there, but it'll be a good game.
Now, they're on a 2-game win streak, which is awesome.
Yep.
Now, it stinks that they had lost 3 of their previous 4 before winning these next 2, because you look at the standings, and they were right there with Potsdam, who's going to is going to squeak by there, and they're going to get the 3rd seed, but it's great to see them back in the tournament for a 2nd straight year. Really great.
They're all close games, though.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate, but they're losing 7-8, 10-11, 7-8, 10-11. Again, it's like a pattern. Broken record. Right there. It's true, though. It's close. They are a good team. They know how to work the ball. They know how to find the ball into the net. They're very good at communicating on the field.
They know how to win, and it's going to go into the playoffs. So we've got to take a short break. When we come back, we've got to talk a little bit of baseball on Cardinal Sports Live.
Over the bridge and through the woods and just off Route 9 is Cumberland 12 Cinemas. They have everything you could want in entertainment, from the tastiest snacks to the very best in new movies. And while you wait, you can relax in the movie lounge or have some fun in the game room. Cumberland 12 Cinemas, less than 15 minutes from SUNY Plattsburgh.
Don't judge a book by its cover, because we're all human.
And as humans, it's our job to treat each other equally. Go to glad.com and show your support.
Smooth Moves 2014 coming at ya. Bobbing your head. Hot, cold, we'll give you both. Smooth Moves. We accept Cardinal cash. Smooth Moves. Located at 4 Broad Street or in the College Suites. Yeah, dude.
Welcome you back into Cardinal Sports Live. The Cardinals baseball team hosted the New Paltz Hawks this past Friday for the first game of a 3-game weekend set. This was a 9-inning affair that wouldn't see its first run until the top of the 8th when David Lastaglio hit a sacrifice fly to center. It would be the only run Joe Letty would let up in his complete game 4-hitter while striking out 3 on only 84 pitches. Andrew Grant of the Hawks threw a complete game shutout in the 1-0 Hawks win, giving up only 3 hits and striking out 7.
And after coming off that tough loss in Game 1, Plattsburgh turned things around, defeating New Paltz in Game 2, 3-2. Will Flynn was on the mound for the Cards, pitching 8 innings and giving up only 7 hits. Junior Brian Latulip smashed the 2-out RBI single into left field, giving Plattsburgh a run and the lead, and from there it was smooth sailing for the Cardinals. Flynn improved 2-4 on the season, contributing to the win, and later in the week, Plattsburgh faced Lyndon State University in a non-conference game.
And yesterday, the Cardinals hosted the St. Lawrence Saints, and it wouldn't take long for the Saints to get on the board. Scoring 6 runs in the first 4 innings knocked starter Shunsuke Sugimoto out of the game, after only 2 innings of work. The Cardinals would put up a 3 spot in the bottom of the 4th on the back of Luke Weaver, who had a 2 RBI single and would eventually come around to score after stealing 3rd and advancing on the overthrow. The Saints answered back with 5 more over the next 2 innings and were able to stave off a late Cardinals 9th inning rally in which they scored 4, but the Saints won, 11-7. Tough as it goes there for the baseball team. I mean, they were 7-6 in Florida, 3-10 since. It's really been a struggle.
You know how we said that the lacrosse team, they impress us season to season?
Yep.
At least the men's baseball team aren't doing any worse than last season, I guess you could say. They were 14-23 last season. They're 10-20 this season, so at least they're being consistent.
Now, they got some games to go, though. We'll see how it pans out. But speaking of baseball, we've got to go to our Coach's Corner on that subject. Let's check it out.
Thank you, Colleen and Derek. We're here with another Coach's Corner. I'm here with baseball coach Chris Dory. How's it going, Coach?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
So you're 30 games into the season now, and you just had your first home game last weekend. What are some of the issues with the weather and the conditions with the field here in upstate New York?
Yeah, in my 13 years, this was definitely the longest winter we've had since I've been back. It's frustrating as the coach because you feel for the players. The players like to play home games. It's a lot more fun to play at home than to get on a bus every weekend and go on the road. And we opened up with 26 straight road games. It's difficult. It's difficult to get into a rhythm, especially when you get back north and there's no non-conference games. Yesterday was our first non-conference game of the season, so it's frustrating for the players. It's probably frustrating for their parents as well. But we try to find a way to work through it. It's not the reason that we're 10-20. You know, we lost a lot of close baseball games, and we can look for things to blame, but we have to blame ourselves right from the head coach on down.
Now, you made a trip down to Fort Myers, Florida. What was that trip like?
You know, Florida, a lot of people have a misconception about our spring trip to Florida. They think it's a lot of fun. You know, we played 13 games in 8 days. You know, we threw in a couple of varsity reserve games where guys that don't get to play an awful lot play in some of those games. So we played 15 games in 8 days. It's actually a lot of work. You know, they do get an off day where they get a chance to be a college student a little bit, but they have an old man kind of, you know, hawking over them, so they can't do anything too outrageous. You know, it's a big team building event. You know, usually by the modes of travel. We flew down this year. Sometimes when you take the bus, the guys get to know each other pretty well when you're on a bus for 24 hours. You know, we do a talent show. Kids do some singing skits and things like that on our night off, and then we play some conference games. So it's a mixture of fun and business at the same time.
Now it's your 13th season. You hold the most wins in program history. What can you say on how you've been able to develop this team in your stay here?
Sure. You know, we've had our ups and downs for sure. You know, I have the most losses too. Everybody brings up that I got 300 wins or whatever, but I got a lot of losses too. It's been a difficult road. You know, it's hard. I mean, I can remember thinking back to the fall of 2001, the first ever workout we did. We lined up 80 guys over at Bailey Avenue because we had no field at the time. And for the first hour, I watched them play catch. And if they couldn't play catch, I'd go over and tap them on the shoulder and tell them thank you, and you're not going to be able to make the baseball team. You know, so we've come a long way. You know, to the point where our expectations are a little bit more than they were at that time. You know, we have probably more talented players right now, but we had a lot hungrier players back then, I believe.
Now you lose your fair share of key players every season. One of those players last season was Brian Burns, who was a great pitcher here for the Cardinals. He comes back and serves as a coach for you now. What's it like having him as a coach as opposed to a player?
Sure, you know, making that transition is hard, going from player to coach, especially at that young age. You know, I can remember way back in the middle 90s having to do it. But, you know, that's hard because Brian, still in his mind, he could still go out and pitch probably better than most of the pitchers we have. But his job isn't to pitch anymore. His job is to try to relay his information and his knowledge of pitching to our pitchers. And he's done a pretty good job of that. There's certain times when you're young that you want to get back out on the field, but you know, you have to get over that at some point.
And there's only a few games left in the season now, and only a few more in the SUNYAC Conference, a doubleheader versus Oswego. What is your message to the team for the rest of the season?
Sure. Right now, we're still mathematically alive. I mean, if we can go out and sweep the three-game set with Oswego and get a little bit of help, then we'd be in the playoffs. But really, it's just a matter of you know, we're going out today and having a quick workout, and we're going to lay down some expectations for going forward. You know, there's some things that I did this year that I hadn't done in the past that I thought might help us, and I don't know that they did.
Yep. And lastly, you're originally from Peru, New York. What has it been like for you to be able to coach at a school so close to your hometown?
It has its ups and downs. You know, it's when things are going well, it's great to be from the Plattsburgh area because everybody's going to love you and everybody's going to, you know, tell you how great you are. And then when you struggle through a tough season like we are, everybody's going to remind you of, oh, it's okay, and it's not really okay. You know, people have a tendency to forget that it's my profession as opposed to, you know, just something I do for a hobby.
All right, well, that's all we have for you this evening. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you very
Back to
much.
the studio, guys.
We thank you, Colin, for that interview. Now, Coach Dory just won his 300th career win, so congratulations, Coach Dory.
Definitely congratulations to Coach Dory, but it's just hard when the team is 10-20, last year 14-23.
Okay, Debbie Downer, at least they're consistent, though. They could be so much worse. They really could be. So at least they're doing something right where they can maintain a decent
record of
record.
a 333 percentage. I'm not trying to hate on him. You always label me as that. You got to relax, Colleen.
Don't tell me to relax.
Spencer doesn't do
this. Could be this. Spencer's new. Wait till he gets to know you a little bit better. But you know they're last in the rankings for the SUNYACs. But this could be some drive. You know what I mean? Like next season, you know they had a really mediocre season this season. Next season they can do even better.
It could be a drive, but we're going to check in on softball when we come back from this short break. Stick around on Cardinal Sports Live.
Play It Again Sports. Buy, trade, and sell your new and used equipment. Whether you're a summer athlete or a winter warrior, we have it all. Play It Again Sports. 30 Plattsburgh Plaza. Game on.
It doesn't matter what other people think of you. Just be yourself.
Smooth Moves 2014. Coming at ya. Bobbing your head. Hot, cold, we'll give you both. Smooth Moves. We accept Cardinal cash. Smooth Moves. Located at 4 Broad Street or in the College Suites. Yeah, dude.
Welcome back to CSL. Plattsburgh softball team went up against SUNY Oneonta in a conference doubleheader. In Game 1, the Cardinals couldn't get their heads in the game, falling to the Red Dragons 10-0. The Red Dragons tallied up those 10 runs with just 3 hits, 2 of them being home runs. Morgan Anderson was on the mound for the Lady Cards, getting hit with the loss in 3 innings of pitching. Meanwhile, the Red Dragons rookie Sabrina DeGallis held the Cardinals with 2 hits.
In Game 2 of the doubleheader against Oneonta, it appeared to be a game to remember. That is, until the 4th inning happened. The Red Dragons tacked on 9 runs in the 4th to knock Cardinal starter Sam Moss out of the game, after only 3 1/3 innings pitched. The Cardinals were held perfect through 3 innings by starting pitcher Sabrina DeAngelis, and were only able to total 2 hits and 1 run off of Katie O'Flynn in the 4th. The game would end after 5 with the 9-1 Red Dragons victory.
That's tough.
It's a tough one.
That is tough. But looking at the standards, they are second above last.
Second above last, a little better than the baseball
a little bit better,
team.
A little
They've
bit.
got,
Do you have anything to say about that, Mr. Palazzi?
at least they're consistent. Or
No, they were much better
they're not.
last
Yeah, they
season.
were
I don't know what you're
they-
trying to say.
they
They were
were-
much better last
they-
season.
oh,
They're not
right.
doing bad this season.
No.
They're not doing bad this season. But they had a really good. They had pitching last season. That was their thing. They had a dominant man, whereas this season they have all young people. So you have to expect them to get used to the routine, because if you throw a rookie on the mound, they're not going to be as comfortable as a pro.
You talk about the pitching. Their team ERA, 5.48. Against, 2.73.
Yep.
Unheard of. Unheard. You can't
Yes.
win giving up 6 a game.
Nope.
Can't
nope.
do it.
Nope. But afterwards, they traveled to Canton, where they had a little bit more of a better game.
That's right.
The softball team traveled to Canton, where they took on St. Lawrence in a non-conference doubleheader. In the first game, Plattsburgh dominated St. Lawrence 3-2. Brittany Marshall went 2 for 5 with an RBI, helping the Cardinals with the victory. Morgan Anderson received her second win of the season, allowing only 2 runs on 7 hits with 3 strikeouts. The Saints' Kyle Plimpton suffered the loss, giving up 2 earned runs and 4 hits.
Coming off their first win, and in their last 5, the Lady Cardinals hope to gain the sweep over the Saints. Saints got going early with a 3-run second inning on back-to-back RBI singles and a pass ball off of starter Kristen Fisher. Saints starter Kyle Plimpton was cruising until the 5th inning when Brianna Clark unloaded the bases with a double. Later that inning, Samantha Copabianco brought in 2 more with a double of her own to give the Cardinals a 5-3 lead. In the bottom of the inning, Hannah Sears for the Saints sent one to deep left center and gone to put the Saints back up 6-5. The Cardinals came right back in the 6th to tie the game in a Brittany Marshall sac fly. Plattsburgh pitching would be the folly on this day, as Morgan Anderson walked in the eventual game-winning run in the 6th, as the Saints took this one 7-6 in 7 innings.
They're so close. It's like a wave. It's like you're dangling a carrot in front of them. They have like a little taste of it, and then they lose
Like
again.
a salmon down a stream.
That's no.
Like
Nope.
a wave.
No, like a wave. Yep,
Yeah.
sure. Let's go with that
Yeah,
one.
we're going to go
Yep.
with that one. So close yet so far away. They win 3-2 and they lose 7-6 after Oneonta the last week when they lost 10-0 and 9-1. So at least they're putting up at least they're putting up good games, even when it looks like they're
Awesome.
down and out 7-21.
Optimism.
You
There
never let
we
me.
go. There we go. But do you know what's weird is that
What?
most teams play better on their own home field.
Yeah, home field advantage.
Yeah,
That's
well,
important.
nope, not in this case. They haven't won a game home yet.
That's right.
They're 5-5 away, but they have not had a taste of victory in Plattsburgh.
And 2-12 on a neutral site, which
Yeah.
is kind of weird because it's not supposed to be any advantage there.
Well, it's tough playing in Plattsburgh too. You and Spencer talked about this. They have rained out games. You see canceled,
It's tough to get a game
postponed.
in, yeah.
It is tough. It is tough. You know, Plattsburgh with these great weather conditions that we have.
Long winter, as we've dubbed it.
It is. It is.
tough.
But I don't know. I feel they were 2-10 in Florida,
Right.
4-10 since.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like once they have better pitching,
Yep.
they will be more stable as a
And
team.
even with that, the hitting's not doing too hot either. They're batting .252 compared to .359. We go back to the
That's true.
pitching. When you're
Yep.
giving up a 5.5 ERA and the batters are batting .360 against you, nothing's going to go right.
Sam Capabianco, though, is definitely one of the leaders
Yeah,
on that team.
definitely.
She smashes that ball every single
hitting
time.
the ball well. She
Yes,
really is.
Indeed.
You got to believe that maybe next year, hopefully, they'll be better.
Better. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But we have to take a quick commercial break.
That's right.
Don't go anywhere. CSL and us, this
Yes.
lovely host, will be right back.
Bob's Music, keeping you in tune with your musical needs. From guitars to drums, we have everything you need to finally begin your journey to the cover of the Rolling Stone. Bob's Music, 32 Plattsburgh Plaza. Rock on.
They said they'd have my back. They'd be here for me.
Come on. You know you want to have some fun.
Come on, just take one hit.
Just take one. Or two.
Come on, it's just one cup.
Just pop one.
Try it.
It's just one cup.
Just one hit.
Just pop it.
one cup.
Just once.
Where are they now? Peer pressure isn't cool. It isn't cool.
Smooth move!
Cardinal Sports Live are coming into the home stretch here, Colleen.
It is. It's very emotional. And
Yes.
I thought I was done last season, so this is a bit of a tease having to come back,
That's
but I
right.
appreciate I like it.
It's great to
I
have
like
you
it.
back,
It's like my
yes.
home turf. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
we got home desk advantage,
home desk advantage by far.
and we haven't lost yet.
Indeed. No.
It's time to talk a little bit about hockey.
Throwback.
Yeah, throwback. As you know, the men's hockey team had a tough go of it, especially in the end with two losses to Oswego right at the end there, and they did not make the SUNYAC tournament. That was tough to see because they'd been in the last three.
They were
championship-
held to a very high standard,
Oh,
and it was
absolutely.
really sad to see them not live up to the
Yeah, they'd
expectations.
been in the-
put up a fight, though. They did not give up throughout the entire season.
That's what happens when you go to the last three SUNYAC tournaments, championships.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they won the first two, and they lost, obviously, the year before,
Yep.
and they just couldn't get there this year.
No,
Tough,
the coach
tough.
has some serious plans. I was talking to him a little bit. Has serious plans for
Is
next
that right?
season. It's true.
Bob
Sure,
Emery?
I got the insight.
Want to see my Bob Emery impression?
No. Is that it?
All he does.
I've heard him. No, I don't think that's it.
No,
I think he would
that's
get
all he
offended if
does.
saw
I
this.
put my foot up on the desk.
No,
if I could. He
please
just
don't. Nope, that's
That's
not
it.
happening. Is that what he does?
stares into your soul. I swear it. That's the Bob Emery way, though.
But let's not talk about Batman. Let's talk about Barry Reutman
Yeah.
because Colin had a chance to interview him. He is a senior, I believe.
Yep, it's
on
our
the
senior
team.
spotlight. Let's check that one out.
Well, thank you, Derek and Spencer, and welcome to Senior Spotlight. I'm here with men's hockey player Barry Reutman. How's it going, Barry?
How are you?
Good. So you've been a big part of this team all the way back to your freshman year. What did it mean to you to be such a key role player in your freshman year?
Well, you know, it's definitely an honor, but I consider myself a very competitive person, and we all came into Plattsburgh hockey. We all had these roles in our junior teams, and basically just want to continue that here, and it's an honor to be able to play for a team like Plattsburgh, and especially as a freshman because not many get to, but it's definitely an honor and something that I hold a lot of pride in.
Mm-hmm. Now, you had a career high in points this past season. What did it mean to you to basically go out on top after your senior year?
Well, you know, when you're a senior, you put that extra effort into it. You know it's your last year, and for a lot of college athletes, when you're a senior, you don't go play pro. It is your last year of sports. You might have to find a job after that. And, you know, having a good year my last year to end my hockey career like that, it made me happy and something that I'll always remember in the future.
And you've received All-American honors after this season. You have before as well. So how hard is it to maintain your play on the ice as well as a good GPA off the ice?
That's a good question. You need to really manage your time well, obviously, clearly. Plattsburgh's a fun place to be. You get really messed up really quick, but I consider myself just, I manage my time well. I got my head on my shoulders. I know what I want to do in my future, and if you don't know that, you're not going to be successful. So I think I put a lot of effort into my education because I want to be successful with that in the future, because that's where I'll be going after Plattsburgh State.
Now, speaking of the future, are there any lessons that Coach Emery has taught you that you will take into the future with you?
Well, definitely at Plattsburgh State, we're a really, really hard-working team. I'd say we're one of the hardest working teams in Division III in the country, and that's something that I'm definitely going to take with me, that if you want to be successful, you really have to work hard at things, get better at things, do the small things, practice, definitely get better.
What would you say has been your favorite part of wearing a Cardinal uniform?
Well, the best thing is just coming on that ice, coming on our home rink, and we have 2,000 people in the stands. It's a great feeling. Just wearing that red and white, it's amazing. And definitely all those big games when we play Oswego at home and there's about 2,000, 3,000 people in the stands. It's amazing. The more fans, the better for us.
Now, one last question. What's next for you?
Well, my hockey career actually just came to an end, and I'm going to be moving back to New York City, probably finding a job in the next few months, and we're going to go from there.
Great. Well, good luck with that. Thanks, and back to the studio, guys.
Thank you, Colin, for interviewing Barry Reutman.
Spencer, you look great.
I know. Well, how was he supposed to know that Spencer was going to be feeling a little ill?
It's okay. We've had ones where I've called Colin Spencer. I'm not the best at names either. I remember my name, Derek. My mother gave it to me, so I got that going for me.
Oh, my God. Between that and the coach, Bob Emery's impression, I'd rather have Spencer. I'm only kidding.
Ouch. Let's talk about you for a minute, though.
Why?
This is your last time.
It is my last time.
We thought we were sending you out.
It's coming close to your end there, too.
That's right.
Old man, because you're going to be graduating, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I've only got some odd amount of shows left, and
then what is CSL going to do? It's going to be brand new faces. It'll be like the baby show.
The baby show. Oh, good.
You know what I mean, though?
Yep.
How come you can do really weird impressions and I can't?
Do it. You got an impression? Do it.
Do it? No.
Do it as we go out. You got anything?
I'm okay. Well,
No?
I would just like to thank Eric Dwyer for the opportunity. For Derek Palaki, I'm Colleen Brandt. Have a lovely evening.